Cool. It looks like I am live. So today is July 25th, and we're having a small retracement, but now we're kind of going back up. So what am I looking at? So first off, Ethereum has been the one that's been moving the most. It's the most exciting for me right now. So what am I currently looking for? What is sexy? What is not sexy? So let's just get into the chart here. So Ethereum, we have found support at $1,500. We have decided to break through it a few times here. So what is that telling me by looking at it technically? Well, it's telling me that it's breaking down. You know, the wall is starting to crumble. It's not as strong as it once was because we have not hit any sort of resistance. I guess if I want to move, because originally my price target was the $1,700 for Ethereum, but realistically right now, it's going to be around that $1,600. So very tight here. So I'll just, honestly, I'm just going to delete this and I'm going to draw a new little dealio. Boom, boom, boom. I'll make it somewhat there. I like support and resistance a lot. I don't really like these lines where people are drawing bear flags and all sorts of stuff. I mean, yeah, it's going up, it's going up. The real moves happen after consolidation and then pump. Okay, if you're going to do a resistance line and a support line, you either need to pick the wicks or the bodies of the candle. You can't decide, hey, I'm going to do a little bit or not a little bit. It's got to either be the body or the wicks is the proper way to do it. I'm going to do the body on this one because I don't give a shit about the wicks because they're pullbacks. You know, they retracements just like on the bottom here. So we're in this range, $100 range, right? So it's tightening up. I guess if I look at some Bollinger Bands, we're at the top of the band. You know, one of the strategies is wait until we bounce just below one of them and then pops back up, but that isn't happening here on the daily. I guess if I look at the 4 hour where it's moving the most, it's starting to squeeze a little bit. Every time these guys squeeze, usually there's kind of a bounce here. If I'm looking at the 8 hour, yeah, you can see how we've breaking both up here. So with me moving that support and resistance, I can look to see, hey, what is stronger and what is not as strong. So here we've got a level that is touched. Boom, boom. I'm going to say those are two. I'm looking for ones that go touch and bounce, right? It doesn't just matter if it touches and it stays. I need to see the V here in order for me to count it. On the top hand, you know, right now the top hand looks weaker because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here we've got, well, relatively tied here. Okay, so it's tomato, what you think is going to happen. But as a trader, you could look at fundamentals when it comes to the news, or you could just follow price action. So price action is stating that we're stuck in this range. So I guess both scenarios I got to look at is which breakout am I looking for. So I'm just going to sit back and wait to see what breakout happens. And then once the breakout happens, I will have a direction, right? Right now, my direction is saying that it should be up just because we were in a trending market, but I'll show you guys that here in just a second. I'm on the 8 hour here. I'd rather go to the 12, the daily. It's just where I mainly make all my all my alerts here. So I'm going to say this is Ethereum 1 day, and I'm going to say that this is resistance. Oh God, if I could spell. Resistance 1600. So now I have an alert on either or, whether or not price is going to go through there. Right now, you know, price is hanging out right here at this 1529 at the bottom half. So I need to decide, hey, when it breaks through, I want to have a candle close after it, and we'll see. But right now, my bias is saying that we're potentially going to go up because I have not seen a new low. right? A new lower low than what we have before. Because right now, here was a low, boom. I guess you can maybe call this somewhat of a low, and then here's another low. Okay, they're constantly higher lows. And then we have a higher high here, then a higher high. So the trend is saying, hey, we're potentially going up. But right now, we've got good resistance at that 1600. I guess if I look at the volume here, you can see the volume. The volume where everybody wants to buy and sell, just hold it in place where nobody really wants a direction, is right in this range. So if we do break above the 1600, boom. The next level that I can start looking at is in this range. And then if I look at what's going on over here, well, here's the next movement of everything where we're at that $1,700 to $2,000 range. That would be a good trade for me. So now that I kind of say, hey, if we're going up, where do I want to go from there? So now we'll say my breakout. I'm going to say my entry is here. I'm going to say my stop is a little bit below. I want it to be a little bit below. Oh, dang it snapped back. I want it to be a little bit below the support line, because the thing that sucks is if you enter a trade and it all of a sudden retraces a little bit and then bounces off of a level of support and you get stopped out and then it goes in the direction you want, that is a bad feeling, right? So you want to make sure that there's really no level of support or resistance in the way of, your target and your stop. Right here, that's in my way. So I need to move that in kind of no man's land here. So I pick probably the bottom of this wick. And right now this is a 1 to 2. If I move it up to the top, that's a 1 to 3 risk ratio. That's a good trade to take. Okay, so that's a good trade to take. However, my entry might more like be something like this, because I need the candle to break above to make it seem like it's worth it. So that's moving it down to a 1 to 2. So I have to make sure that I have a good entry right around here, but I've already figured out where my stop is and what my target is. That's on the upside, okay? But what happens if I break on the bottom, okay? So let's go short position here and break on the bottom. Well, I guess before I even go short here, what are we looking for volume? Where should my targets be? Where do I think that this could potentially happen with Ethereum? Well, yeah, we've been breaking down. Where are we going from there? Do you see us going here? Do you see us going here? Do you see us going here? Realistically, it looks like that would be a good target. We've got a small level right around here on the daily. I guess if I'm moving down below, where is the majority of that money going? Same thing. 1 hour. I don't really like the 1 hour. But boom. Might see some sort of resistance right here, but it would act as support at the 1300. So let's just look at it, because this is what you should be doing when you're looking for how to enter a trade. It's not just like, hey, I'm going to pick this and it's going to go up, right? No, it's got to do your homework, and this is why you use technicals, because technicals help you have just more information, so that you can beat the house, right? If you could go play a blackjack game and have 51% over, 49, statistically you should win as long as you stay with your rules here. But a good trader can win 4 out of 10 times and still make money, okay? Just if they're disciplined. So during my digression, did I grab short position here? Okay, perfect. So let's just say there's going to be my target here. Whoa. Here's going to be my first target, where it might be my first target to where I start to scale out, right? So if I hit this on the short downhill side, I'll be like, now I'll take a little bit of a profit out, right? So that haven't lost anything, and then I might move my stop to break even if I get to there. So I won't lose any money. I just made some money. Hey, I got somebody that's into moto in the chat. Hey, what's up, Michael? Brop to you too, my friend. I hope you're having a good weekend. So my stop. Where would my stop be? Again, do I want it to be the level of resistance here? No, I'd probably like to see something go a little bit further. So right now on the short side, it's not looking like as good of a trade for me because I'm relatively at a 1-to-1, right? 1-to-1 is not always the best. I'd have to have the breakout here and have it continue, okay? But if I move my target down to here, which could be likely, now I'm a little bit better, but it's still 1-to-7. So the upside, I'm looking like, hey, that potentially is going to be a better trade for me than the downside. Again, because what does this look like a trend to you? Boom, right? Okay, I've got more information on the upside than I do the downside because the upside, I've got, what do I have? All right, I got a high, I have a low, I have a new low, I have a new high. All right, I have a new low, I have a new high. Okay, so it's trending. In order for this to be a new lower low, it need to be starting right here. Okay, so this is where a trend to the downside would start, would be right where my trade would be. So this is a more risky trade on the downside. So I'm really looking for an entry position to the long side in this area for here. That to me seems like it's more likely, probable trade that it would work, but only likely if we're breaking out here. Okay, if we break out below here, yeah, you can still make money. It's just riskier. Okay, that's what I'm looking for on Ethereum. I actually have a long in that I'm going to just cancel it if we break below the 1500. I'm already have been down since here. I've been in this move here. I got in here and I took profit here. I took profit here. And now I'm like, okay, Johnny, you kind of exhausted this move here. What's going on? Of course, I'd like this move to go up here and I'd probably add into the trade here a little bit more. But there's no way I'm going to lose money on the current trade because I've done a good job with risk management. But now I'm kind of thinking what's going to happen going short because we've got the Fed meeting coming up and they're going to raise interest rates. Michael, is it accumulation stage for long term in your opinion? Yeah, not financial advice, brother, but no, these are good entry points into crypto. Because if I just go on the daily here and I restart, and I get this stuff off. Like everyone is freaking out about money right now, okay? But this isn't a large accumulation zone, right? The top was at 69, and I'm a big believer into this is a $1 million asset. Bitcoin is a $1 million asset. Yes, do I think here in my bottom zone on my chart that I think that Bitcoin potentially can go down to 14,000 to 11,000? Absolutely. Because I don't have a crystal ball, but right now we've already had a 69%, ironically 69% correction, but what's this from here, right? That looks pretty bad. That's another 40% drop. That would be scary, but we do have a good consolidation here, and usually after big consolidation moves, you see something big. Right? But for long term, I'm talking 5 to 10 years, this is good stuff to dollar cost average into. Because I'm kind of going on a tangent, Michael, I've been buying Bitcoin since 30, all the way down to 20. I bought some at 17. I'm going to continue to buy more as it goes down. But trading wise, I'm looking potentially for, what am I looking for? Let's look at it here. So if I open this up, and I'm looking at this, we have found support at the $21,700 range. And where are we finding that support from? Where is this line coming from for me to look? Okay, it's coming from here back in December of 2020. Okay, that's where buyers are in control. If I'm looking at volume just from price charts, boom, that's where we see all of the F and sell and buy orders are in this range. The next is 30,000. There is a big potential move here on both the up and the bottom, down to 14 and down and up to 30, right? I'd love to be on either one of those when it comes to trading wise. So this should reset a little bit for me. Let me make this a little bit easier to see here. Let me get rid of this because now I've already seen. So what am I looking at? Okay, if we continue, I could play support and resistance, and I could bounce. I could buy something right here, go long, but then I need to have a real tight stop because this is a small support and resistance. This was a false breakout above here where sellers did I move that? Where sellers didn't want to let the move go. I really think that we're waiting for potentially what the Feds are going to do, and then it's going to be priced in beforehand, and then we're gonna go off. And it's actually really, really simple to follow this stuff. Okay, so if we break down below, I've got a target down here, right? This is potentially where we're going. Break down below here, we're potentially going to that bottom. Right? I just want to be a part of the move on either side. Okay? So I'm looking for a break below the 21,500 and relatively a break above the 22,500. And then I'm going to have a short, my long, and my stops are going to be relatively tight. So just brief here, right? This would be a 3 to 4. 3 to 4 realistically of what I would do. And then at around 50%, or 1 to 1, I would take some profit. Okay, so the upside, that's what I'm looking for right now. I've got some buy orders in if we touch this again, just so that I can go long. Let me read a couple of the the comments here in the chat because I'm not making any jokes on the crypto channel. I'm going to leave that to the Moto channel. But whole shot, Colorado Moto guy, trying to learn and shows the program. Yeah, for sure. Whole shot. The trying to learn more about this stuff is it takes time, just like riding an effing dirt bike. Okay, yeah, it's that whole 10,000 hour rule. You need to put in the time. I'm here to try to help and teach, but you are going to have a different style than I do. Just same thing with riding. People have different styles. You got to put in the work. Got to do the research and find out what works. You'll learn more from failure. So start off slow and just continue to go, because people can make money at this and they can make a lot of money at this, but they can also lose a lot of money, as I've lost a lot of money doing this too. It's not fun. Just lawyers take 8 years to become a lawyer. Same thing with a doctor, professional racer, takes 10 plus years, whatever, right? So you got to just put in the work. And I'm definitely here to help and answer some questions. But anyway, guys, okay, hold on. Rob says trade volatility, I think, at 13.8K is the target. Yeah, 13.8 down here in the bottom, 13 to 10,000, that is my long-term buy zone, right? This is not a trading zone for me. This is a buy and hold trading zone, okay? Because when you're investing, really the only way you can make money is when it goes up, okay? When you're trading, you can make money when it goes down, kind of when it stays sideways and up. It depends on if you're using options or whatever. It depends on what contracts you're buying. But I am looking to make money on the downside and the upside right now. If I look at a trend over the last few months or something, it is going down, right? Because we've got a consolidation range here where we've got a high, then we've got a low, then we've got a new lower low and a lower high, and then we've got a lower low and a lower high. So it makes sense looking at the long-term trend that, boom, we'd have an even lower low and then a lower high, right? That to me is a bear market. The trend is going down, all right? If I zoom in, this is where you can get confused if you're not really knowing what you're doing, is you can get confused about it on however you look at the chart. Because I am on the daily here, and what am I seeing here? I see a low, okay? I see a higher low and a higher high, right? And then if this ends up being that new low, that's a higher low than this, okay? So that is trending upwards, right? And I'm hoping that it continues to go, but I'm not going to be upset if it doesn't, because then we'll just follow the longer trend, and that longer trend is down, and we'll still have some shorts in and things of that nature. The deal with this stuff is you just can't be attached to your positions. I'm attached to my investment wallet. I'm 1000% attached to my investment wallet. I don't touch that stuff, and it sucks that it goes down, and I just buy more of the good assets when it goes down. Here, when it comes to all of my assets that I trade, I will trade a shitty asset. Absolutely trade a shitty asset. If the chart is looking like, boom, we're going up, because you don't have to be a rocket science to say, hey, what does this look like to you? It looks like it's going up, okay? But if you look down, it looks like it's going down, because what did I just say? Here's a high, here's a low, lower low, even lower low, and lower high, okay? By that, I would say that this guy is going down here to another lower low, right? It depends on how you look at it. That's why you have to have the stops in place, because again, you zoom into this guy and I go down to like the 4 hour, right? What does this look? Looks completely different if, say I was going to move it over here. Yeah. And then I could stretch it up and move it, so you can trade. And that's how day traders make a lot of money, is because they're playing on the 15-minute and, they see different trends inside of trends, right? Boom. Could have made money there on the way down. Could have made money there. Boom. Vice versa. But this is happening in an hour. Actually, that's like 2 hours. You get my point? Okay, Whole Shot says going down is not a bad thing for me buying. Yeah, going down is not a bad thing. You do not want to be the type of people that buy only when your grandma and everybody else is like, oh, have you heard of Bitcoin? It's up 30,000. Truthfully, guys, Bitcoin has not a very good win ratio. Okay, if putting money in, you have to put in 100 grand in order to potentially make 10x, because I do think it's going to $1 million, but I mean, it's not 100 grand right now. So, 10x right now, would be 200,000, right? So you got to wait till Bitcoin gets to 200,000 to make a 10x. Ethereum, make a 10x. Ethereum is at 1,500 right now. Make a 10x, it's got to go to 15, right? I think Bitcoin or Ethereum is going to 25, okay? Ethereum has a better risk versus reward as far as it being fundamentally strong and the price is low. And really, there hasn't been anything crazy as far as it moving forward where it is project-wise, where everyone's using it, banks are using it, that sort of thing. The whole crypto space is using it to build off of, but it hasn't really done any more innovation other than that, at least for its own coin there. So for that, I personally think that Ethereum has got a better risk versus reward if you have not that much money on hand, because you have to have a lot of money for Bitcoin. But anyway, this is Johnny Crypto. Thanks for watching, guys. I will do more live stuff every so often. I just wanted to get this one out because, you got to be patient. Got to wait, right? So we're waiting. So thanks again, guys.